Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Now at 6:30, billions of dollars of new attractions, hotels, and more are on the way to Disney. But what about a fifth theme park? What we've learned about a big deal between Disney and the Governor's Board.
1, ignition, and liftoff of Starliner.
And Starliner's first crewed flight got off to a picture-perfect start. What's next for Butch and Sunny, and what mission managers have to say to critics who complained about all those delays. Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Justin Mormouth. Central Florida's population has been booming for years, but is that boom finally slowing down? Well, a new report from moving company Pods offers insight on where people are heading, and the top destinations may surprise you. Also, our top trending stories tonight will have you talking. Secret tunnels exist below one Florida city. You won't be able to find them, but we did. How the past is being rediscovered. And if you saw this at 11 o'clock last night, you won't be shocked. It is the most shared story online. Incredible video. What happened when a bear confronted a pair of gators in our backyard? That's coming up a little later.
But we start with the weather. A severe thunderstorm warning just expired in one local county. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Tom Searles with the latest. Tom.
Hey, Ginger, it was our friends in Marion County had the severe thunderstorm warning going till about 6:15. It went off the clock more than 15 or 16 minutes ago. But the bottom line here is that even though it's no longer putting out severe weather, it is still worth watching. Let's stop it right now and try to figure out what's going on with that. You see the activity here. Come on now, stop. There we go. Showing you the activity is pushed east of Gainesville, east of Ocala. The heaviest rain and the most lightning we have is embedded here in Palatka. Even in that zone, though, it looks like it's starting to fall apart. Here's my hope. The outflow boundary is starting to kick up a few more scattered showers. Now, we certainly don't want them to go severe, but we're watching them develop over time here, and the activity is impressive as it pushes into parts of Volusia and Lake counties. Hopefully, some of this rain holds together long enough to make it into Flagler County as well. I don't expect there's going to be another warning, but if one's issued, we'll get it right on for you. Meanwhile, we're going to start to turn our attention to better rain chances for tomorrow and the crazy heat that's coming this weekend.
Thank you, Tom. Our other big story now at 6:30 tonight, with a big deal that recommits Disney to spend at least $17 billion to help keep Walt Disney World as the top tourist destination in the nation. Disney CEO had floated that number before. Now, a new development deal reached with the governor-appointed oversight board locks that in as a minimum in spending over the next 2 decades. Disney could even build a fifth theme park if it wanted to. News 6's Catherine Silver was there for the first vote that clears the way for more attractions, hotels, and restaurants.
This deal allows Disney to build a new park, but so far the company has not committed to building one. The development agreement also will not be finalized until a second vote next week.
It's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of June 12th.
This is an inside look at how the magic is made. Wednesday, the board that oversees the Disney World District gave their first approval of a major development deal. It would result in the company investing up to $17 billion in Central Florida in the next 15 years. And it paves the way for a fifth major park if there is demand.
I only wish we could have gotten here sooner, but I'm glad we're getting here today.
The deal's terms also give Disney permission to build 2 more smaller parks like water parks. They could also add 14,000 hotel rooms and more retail and restaurant space. It's music to the ears of business owners at Disney Springs like Wine Bar George.
My wife and I's families, if you go back all the way to the 50s, have operated small businesses in Central Florida for about 100 total years combined. And the one thing that we're sure of is that investment and reinvestment guarantee growth and excellence.
Splitsville Luxury Lanes, Homecoming Florida Kitchen, and Everglazed Donuts and Cold Brew. It shows that the district and Disney are ready and willing to resume working together to do good things for the state of Florida.
Both Disney and the governor-appointed board of supervisors that oversees the district negotiated the new agreement after ending their 2-year legal battle in March. This deal lays the groundwork for 2 decades of growth. Disney's footprint in Florida could get bigger. In return, Disney would have to invest in road projects and other infrastructure around the parks that would benefit both visitors and those who call Central Florida home. They've also agreed to use Florida-based companies for half the project and invest a minimum $10 million to build affordable housing. In Orlando, I'm Catherine Silver, Getting Results, News 6.
The CFTOD board must take a second and final vote on June 12th for the deal to move forward.
Now, there's no doubt that Disney has some big plans. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, in fact, opens later this month at the Magic Kingdom. And in Animal Kingdom, Imagineers have also filed permits for construction that could help clear the way to reimagine Dino Land into a tropical America's land featuring Encanto and Indiana Jones. That project expected to be confirmed soon. But we always want to know what you think about all this. Tonight's question of the day, do you want to see a fifth theme park at Walt Disney World? Let us know by saying yes or no at clickorlando.com/react. More than 4 dozen have weighed in so far, and 66% saying yes. Again, head to clickorlando.com/react, or you can make your voice heard by scanning the QR code on your screen, and that will take you right to the poll.
Today's vote on the Disney deal came as Orange County announced disappointing news on tourist taxes. They dropped significantly in April, both from March and April of last year. That means fewer guests visited Disney, Universal, and beyond. The county collected a little more than $30 million during the month of April, which is down 10% compared to last April. Comptroller Phil Diamond says that's the biggest decrease since February of 2020. He told News 6's Ezzy Castro he hopes April is a one-time thing since March was a record.
We hadn't seen a drop like that in a while, and I hope it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
I hope it's just because March was so good and took some of April's business.
Can we see those numbers go back up again, just like what we saw in March?
Oh, anything can happen. March, you're right, March was a record. It had never been that good before. You know, as far as the numbers, it was the highest ever. And it was, I mean, you wish you could have months like that just all the time.
Diamond believes March was especially high because spring break and Easter fell in the same month. He expects summer will stay busy and predicts even bigger business when Epic Universe opens next year.
Our booming attractions and theme parks are a big reason so many people move to Central Florida every year. But is that boom slowing? Well, a recent report from moving and storage company Pods offers insight into this year's moving trends, and some of them may surprise you. So this year, Florida has just 3 cities in the top 20 moving destinations. Ocala, second in the nation. It was 4th last year. Jacksonville at 9th. Orlando at 18, which is a pretty big drop from last year when Orlando was the 3rd spot. Tampa, Sarasota, Melbourne, all dropping out of the top 20 this year. On the flip side, one Florida region seeing the most people moving out. That is the Miami area, the number 3 area people are fleeing, right behind Los Angeles and San Francisco. The red hot market of Austin, by the way, now 5th on the list of most move-outs according to Pods. All right, so where are people moving? Well, they're gone to Carolina with 5 of the top 10 cities. Myrtle Beach, Wilmington was the top destination. That is a 2nd year in a row for them, by the way. Greenville, South Carolina at 4, Charlotte at 5, followed by Raleigh at 6 and Asheville at 10. Pods found a large number of people are also moving to nearby Tennessee and Georgia. So let's talk about why Florida is seeing such a drop-off. Well, our insurance crisis has to be a major factor. Florida homeowners had an average premium of nearly $11,000 last year. That is $8,500 higher than the national average. And it's a big reason Zillow says that the average home value in Florida only went up by 3.3% in the last year, and that's after spiking more than 40% between 2021 and 2023. So in other words, perhaps the risks and the costs of owning a home in Florida may be outweighing the reasons to move here.
Well, you can see why, though.
We give them a lot of reasons to not. Now, we give them a lot of reasons to move here as well, but the Carolinas, I know you, obviously a very special place for you as well.
But everybody I know is talking about the Greenville, South Carolina area, which is a hot market right now.
Hot market. My brother moved there in 2021, so I think but it was a hot market then, and it's even hotter now.
It's hotter now.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this is just, I
mean, it's got to cool
anomaly.
Up at some point.
Exactly. Let's not hope it's a drop, though.
Yeah,
that's not good for anybody.
All right, so we are asking questions now about an emergency military landing that happened in Volusia County. We're told everyone on board is okay. The Navy Seahawk helicopter was forced to make an emergency landing this morning in a clearing in some woods. The Volusia Sheriff's Office says it was called in to help find the chopper. It took them about 40 minutes, but eventually deputies spotted it around 10:30, just north of State Road 40, near State Road 11, close to Ormond Beach. This is what Sky 6 was able to see from above, and you can see the gray helicopter in the field. We're told there was no damage to it, and it was a precautionary emergency landing. The helicopter came from Jacksonville's naval base. We've asked where it was going, what led to the emergency landing, and who was on board. As soon as we get those answers, we'll let you know.
It took 3 tries, but Starliner is on its way to the International Space Station with astronauts on board.
3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff of Starliner and Atlas V, carrying 2 American heroes, drawing a line to the stars for all of us.
We had live coverage just before 11 o'clock this morning of the launch, much to the delight of young rocket watchers at Spaceview Park.
The rocket was like a belly rumbling because it had fire coming out of it, and it was like smoking.
That's
perfect.
Yeah.
That's great color commentary. And astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams are not just the first astronauts to fly on this new space taxi. They are the first Americans to launch from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station since Apollo 7 all the way back in 1968.
And thank goodness the two are now testing out the systems of the Starliner. A, quote, tough little bird Williams named Calypso after explorer Jacques Cousteau's ship. News 6's James Sparvero spoke with mission managers about taking flight after years of setbacks.
Well, it finally happened. The NASA Boeing crew flight test launched, and now astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams are on their way to the International Space Station. NASA ended its broadcast right after Starliner had a successful orbital insertion burn. This is where everything started to go wrong back in 2019, when Starliner missed that burn and essentially didn't know where it was in space. Beyond that point now, without any reported problems, I'm going to ask the mission managers how it feels to get the monkey off their back.
I know you're focused on the mission at hand, but what would you like to say to those who may have even called for the cancellation of the program after all the delays? There are those who thought Butch and Sonny would never fly.
We talked to our team a lot about just ignoring a lot of the stuff that you read. We focus on the positive, we focus on the accomplishments, and we learn from the setbacks that we've had. And I think about over the years how many bad headlines I've read about the shuttle program, International Space Station. And then I look back at those programs and look at how successful they were. Someday we're going to be looking back at this program the same way.
Every development program has challenges on getting there. Space Shuttle had challenges. It was behind schedule on launching. We've stood side by side with Boeing, working hard.
Folks like to judge early, and I would exercise caution doing that. You really don't know how great a program is until after it's finished.
The overall answer to your question is space is hard. Look what we've been through in all of the different space programs of NASA, and sometimes they were very painful. And when we didn't get it right, the entire country suffered. So my hat's off to the team here. They waited until they got it right.
During the press conference, I also wondered about why we didn't see Butch and Sonny's live pictures in the capsule after the launch. Well, Mark Nappy from Boeing, he told us that that live camera doesn't work after the rocket takes flight. He's hoping that they can send back live pictures on future Starliner missions. Docking time tomorrow is at 12:15 in the afternoon. Our coverage continues then. At Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results News 6.
All right, so I know you were on the desk today when that thing took off. I mean, I was at home, but I was feeling nervous about it. How did you feel watching it?
My heart was racing the entire time as it approached the countdown, 10, 9, 8, and then when we saw it go off, I was just like, please, 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 please. I haven't been that nervous for a rocket launch in quite some time.
There's a lot at stake.
A lot at stake, and to know that everything has been perfect since then is
Love
just
that.
fantastic.
My favorite thing that we don't talk about enough is Sunny Williams. She's 58 years old.
Mhm.
She's the first woman to be a pilot
Yes.
for a test mission of a spacecraft. So I love that.
History all around.
Oh my gosh, it's so great.
Yeah.
So before docking tomorrow, though, Butch and Sunny will test out everything about Starliner to make sure it is ready in an emergency.
So in one test, they will try to make Starliner think that it's in the wrong position in space. They will use the stars around them to test if they can recover Starliner's orientation on orbit. So that's a pretty big mission.
It really is. I just want them to just get right to the ISS.
ISS.
Just go. So if you missed this morning's launch or you just want to watch it again, we've posted our coverage on the homepage of clickorlando.com.
And no surprise, Starliner is one of the top stories trending tonight on clickorlando.com. And anyone who saw News 6 at 11 last night will understand why number 2 is still trending. So the headline, kind of annoyed. Florida bear fights 2 gators while crossing St. Johns River. Yeah, you heard that right. News 6 viewer Tyler Futrell took this video as he was kayaking in the St. Johns River. He says he noticed a bear trying to swim across the river when a gator approached and attacked. The bear fought that gator off, but ran right into another one and fought that one too. The video shows the bear reached the shoreline and wandered off. Futrell described the bear as kind of annoyed and ready to get out of that water. Yeah, that sums it up. But also, it sums up why you just don't mess with bears. They can fight off anything.
Anything.
2 gators included.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last night at 11 o'clock, sports director Jamie Say had the foresight to point out there's a guy in a kayak watching all of this go down, and he's relatively close.
Yes.
So that's really the big concern there is the guy getting this video.
How was your day?
Exactly. Here's what I got.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Well, a history mystery from the other side of the I-4 corridor is our third top trending story tonight. So the headline, secret tunnels exist below this Florida city, but you won't be able to find them. Well, you know who did find out about them? ClickOrlando.com and News 6 digital producer Anthony Talcott.
All right, so Tony, some people think these tunnels are just an urban legend, but others think they were used to smuggle alcohol way back when. So what are the facts with this?
Well, Justin, plenty of folks out there think that these tunnels, which are found in Ybor City near Tampa, were used by the mafia to transport alcohol during Prohibition. And given how corrupt the city was in the early 1900s, that's really not much of a stretch. But I spoke with a couple of local historians who told me that's likely not the case. Now, there are no full maps of these tunnels, so it's tough to say for sure. But there are at least 2 that we know of in the area. Now, while the last public access burned down over 2 decades ago, a new entrance was unearthed during a construction project just a few years back. Now, researchers with USF came out and explored it, finding old bottles and even an artesian spring. And well, you might be thinking, that's got to be proof of smuggling. But given that there used to be an old bottling plant and an ice house nearby, those are much more likely reasons for why these things are down there. Now instead, Rodney Kite Powell with the Tampa Bay History Center tells me that this tunnel was probably used as something a little less savory, a really old sewer, way back when Ybor City was still being made. Not nearly as romantic, but the researchers who explored the tunnel said it was pretty cramped, and you have to hunch over a little bit just to walk through it. Now, they weren't able to go through the entire tunnel due to safety concerns or other reasons, but using laser scanning, they were able to make some partial 3D maps of the place. Now, these maps that you see right here show where the tunnel was in relation to the nearby buildings and construction site. And using computer technology, they were able to overlay these 3D maps on top of old 2D ones. And I've got to say, they look pretty darn cool. Now, for more information and pictures of these tunnels, you can head over to my story on clickorlando.com. Now, Ginger, Justin, I know we're not allowed to go down there ourselves, but would you ever want to explore a place like this?
Yeah, until you told me it was a sewer.
I know. I was going to say, is that your video or is that somebody else's video? Did you go down
all
there?
of that is courtesy of the University of South Florida.
Okay, yeah.
Now,
let
as
them
someone
do the
who
dirty
worked
work.
and lived in the Tampa Bay area,
I never heard of this.
Never heard of this.
But I know that guy because we used to have him on our morning show all the time when we talked about, you know, why we name things, certain things, or whatever. Because there's so much history in the Tampa Bay area, as
especially
there is all
Ybor
over
City.
Florida.
Ybor City is crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Prohibition era. They were smuggling
I like that
alcohol.
one. Yeah, the
Sounds
mafia.
good.
It was corrupt.
Much more savory. All right. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Another top trending story is the weather. If you just joined us, a severe thunderstorm warning expired about 20 minutes ago in Marion County.
The other story, of course, the heat. Flagler and Volusia counties both just added burn bans, so Tom, tell us what we got in store tonight.
We need more rain. That's what we have in store, but we are not getting enough. Lightning strikes beginning to collapse here, but some of the rain is still pretty heavy around Palatka all the way down just outside of Pearson. I'll be back to pinpoint the showers, talk about rain chances for tomorrow, and then the big heat for your weekend.
First, though, an inside look at something a police department says has never been done before, going into the woods with a mental health counselor to the homeless to get and break a cycle, how it is getting results protecting our community. That is next.
And just a day after Starliner's launch made history, SpaceX hopes Starship Kin 2. We're going to have an update on tomorrow's crucial test flight out in Texas. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Palm Coast, Lady Lake, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Now at 6:30 tonight, it is the first arrangement of its kind in the state. A police department pairing an officer with a counselor to go into the woods and visit people who are homeless.
The goal, connect them with what they really need: housing, food, work, and medication. News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken is in New Smyrna Beach looking into how it's getting results protecting our community.
This is what Kimber Jensen does just about every day.
Hello, hey.
The New Smyrna Beach Police Department gave us this body camera video of a typical visit to a homeless camp by the COU, the Community Outreach Unit. Jensen and her police partner.
Yeah, sometimes we will traipse through quite a bit of brush and through long paths and things like that all through the woods until you find just an individual that might be camping. Might not be a huge camp, might be one person.
So this is not an easy job at all.
It's physically taxing sometimes, but I love it.
Jensen is a mental health clinician and one of the newest employees of the New Smyrna Beach Police Department, making her an equal partner, not just a contractor in the PD's effort to end the cycle of homelessness.
You know, they might have some mental health issues or substance issues that weren't taken care of, and then they are released, and then they become repeat offenders or people that we are repeatedly seeing.
There are a ton of resources and services for the homeless here in New Smyrna Beach. In fact, as the police chief likes to say, if you're in need, you can get a meal 7 days a week. What's new and what's different is that the police department, specifically the COU, is connecting those in need, the homeless, with those resources and services. But some of these people have been living there for years.
Yeah, they have.
Much of their life.
So I think
how do you change that?
Yeah, I think instilling hope in people and also just supporting them and continuing to follow through, doing what you say you're going to do.
Yes, I'm Deputy Chief Chris Kirk with the New Smyrna Beach Police Department.
A lot of 911 calls are from the homeless community. The idea is to bring that down. Everybody wins.
Exactly. So they're getting immediate service that's dedicated and contoured to their needs, and that frees up the rest of our officers to be continuing to do what needs to be done throughout the city.
We know that the homeless going to the hospital, being Baker Acted, of course, that utilizes resources there, especially when they go to the hospital over and over and over again.
It does. So it's not just Baker Act, drop off, forget, go on to the next thing. But we have Kimber following up with that person, making sure that they're getting the resources they need.
I would imagine most of these people in the woods have never had anyone like you come visit them.
Yeah, no, I think they're surprised when they see us walk up and ask them if they're home.
Jensen tells me she has several success stories already in the 9 months since she started the COU, including a 12-year-old whose parents had abandoned him. She got results, got him help, and got him into a home. Protecting our community in New Smyrna Beach, Eric Von Anken, Getting Results, News 6.
Well, tomorrow is shaping up as another exciting day in space. Starliner astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams will soon be turning in for the night so they can wake up ready for tomorrow's rendezvous with the International Space Station. They're set to dock around 12:15.
But as soon as 8 o'clock in the morning, SpaceX is planning to test that mega Starship rocket again near Boca Chica, Texas. Elon Musk says the goal of this fourth test flight is for the Super Heavy booster to make a soft splashdown in the Gulf, with Starship itself making a controlled re-entry in the Indian Ocean. That would test what could be the first fully reusable heat shield. The last test in March nearly made it to orbit before the booster and Starship were ordered to self-destruct. NASA is counting on using Starship to land Artemis 3 astronauts on the moon, while the launch window opens at 8 a.m. Eastern. The timing of tomorrow's test launch is still in flux, so we're going to keep you posted on that.
That's like seeing a 40-story building take off. I mean, it's huge. It's lumbering.
Yeah. And
yeah. It's like 410 feet tall, I think.
And listening to that, obviously I haven't watched one of those in person, but listening to it and on the feeds, that one is just a different beast.
It's a lot.
It's a different beast.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells joins us now. And are things calming down out there? Because I think, was it Marion County that was seeing some action?
Yeah, we had a severe thunderstorm warning for Marion until 6:15, so it's been gone 45 minutes now. But it's raining in Palatka, which is Putnam County, almost into Flagler.
Just rain?
A few lightning strikes, but no warnings. Take a look at what's happening now. This is all good. If you can get the rain and no warning, giddy up. Here's radar. You see the scattered showers, and watch the lightning begin to collapse. We're down to 18 lightning strikes in the last half of an hour in the entire area you see on your screen at the moment. So, severe thunderstorm warning from Marion County went away. Some of that rain did build farther down to the south, and that's good. So it kind of did the zippity-doo-dah around you there in Ocala and missed out. Palatka is getting some rain over in Putnam County. It looks to me like it is going to hold together. Rain-wise, not super lightning strength-wise, but rain-wise to make it into Flagler County. So 2 thumbs up. Flagler County wins the lottery. Here we go. Drought monitor should grow tomorrow. We're in a moderate drought for Orange, Brevard, Osceola, and parts of Seminole counties. This heat, that's going to be wild this weekend. We're going to be near 100 degrees before it's over. We were kind of close today. We hit that daytime high of 97 today, 7 degrees above the norm, 1 degree away from the record. Downtown Orlando, on the Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera, we've dropped to 88. Launch Credit Union camera 85 in Daytona. Toyota Delay and Kia cam looks great in Daytona Beach. The waves are beautiful. The water's blue, sky's blue. Life's good. It's 84 degrees in Daytona Beach. Temps where you are, 88 Orlando, 93 Kissimmee, 91 in the Villages, and Can't beat that. Onshore flow does continue, so we will stay mild into the night. Real field temperatures today have been smoking. They're all past the century mark for the real field. High pressure in control now and stays that way through the weekend. Frontal boundary to the north will start to march our way. Our problem, the reason we're not getting any rain to speak of, widespread rain, is because of all the dry air. That dry air at 30,000 feet has just eaten the moisture up, just gobbled it all up, so we have no rain, no moisture to work with to produce the rain. Frontal boundary gives us enough lift, and a little modification of the air mass toward tomorrow will bring us a better chance of rain, but the weekend just looks hot with very few scattered showers. Here's tonight. We wrap it up pretty quickly in the next hour or two, and then tomorrow. Where's the rain chance tomorrow? Well, here we go. Here's Thursday, rolling through the morning hours till about noon. Into the afternoon, better chances of rain east of Orlando. That's what it should look like by 6 in Brevard County. Maybe tomorrow is the day you finally start to get some rain and knock that drought out. Lows tonight 70s, we'll go 76 in Orlando. Here's tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
The daytime high tomorrow is 96 to 97 with rain chances at 40 to 50%. Check out these daytime highs, guys. 97 tomorrow, just like today, then 98 for Friday, Saturday. Sunday, we could hit 99. Please stay with us. We'll be right back with more news.
Well, some News 6 insiders just saw the Rolling Stones for free at Camping World Stadium, and now tickets to another big concert up for grabs.
Oh, I like this one. Janet Jackson will rock the Kia Center when she brings her Together Again tour to town in July. She will be joined by Nelly. We're giving away 2 sets of tickets, and all you have to do to enter is use this form on clickorlando.com/insider. You can enter daily for more chances to win. We will pick 2 winners on Friday, June 14th. Oh my gosh.
Nelly?
Listen, I'm telling you, that's
a good one.
I volunteer to just go document the tour on my own time.
You're just going to write something up, write your
review?
review?
Just a little something. I may do a little dancing as well while I'm there.
I'd love to see that. If I start singing nasty, will you take off?
No, not in front of a camera, I won't.
You mean.
Thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. See you back here at 11.